lot of people are going through relationship problems and are finding it hard to get solutions. In this series, we asked our audience to share their relationship issues with us and receive advice from other people.
I snore when I sleep. She complained, but there was nothing I could do about it. And then one day she said, "When you sleep, you don't close your eyes and it scares me." I asked, "So what do you want me to do?" She responded, "Close your eyes when you sleep. How can you be sleeping with your eyes wide open? Do you even see it when you dream?" It turned into a heated argument because I felt she was making a mountain out of a molehill. Finally, she dropped the bomb. "It's okay. Go your way, let me also go my way. Who needs a man who snores and also sleeps with his eyes wide open anyway?" We never came back together again. Wow, this is a very interesting one. Some of these things can be quite dicey and it can be quite gray when talking about it, because I'm not sure anyone would want to intentionally snore when he or she sleeps, or would intentionally want to have their eyes open when he or she sleeps. So he can't do much about it, you understand? Again, when it comes to him sleeping with his eyes being wide open or whatever it is, that is also genetic. I mean, when we sleep, we are like dead bodies. We can't control how we are as a people. And so I think that the girl could have, or the lady, could have handled it in a much more matured way, instead of just bursting out and then trying to make it look like it's very intentional or he's being deliberate about it.
I don't know, but for some reason, anytime I walked with him, people looked at us. I'm tall and he's short, but to me, it was cute. I'm very fair in complexion and he's very dark, so we were like the night and day. One day he told me, "People look at you too much when we walk together, and I don't feel good about it. It's like I don't deserve you, and they are judging me. It's better we break up today when we can, than leave it until someone snatches you from me. You may say it won't happen, but I see it coming." That was it. That was the end of us. Wow. Okay, so from what I have read, I think the guy was basing his argument on assumptions. What people are thinking. People are judging me. I don't deserve you and all that. And for some reason, he made a decision based on assumptions. Then the second thing I would say is that I feel he has insecurities, or he was insecure about having such a lady with him and was kind of feeling afraid or insecure that someone would snatch the lady from him. If the lady didn't have any problem being with him, then I think the guy wasn't fair enough to have left the relationship. That's if they didn't have any issues apart from this. But if the lady was okay, or for some reason was giving the guy negative vibes that you don't make wild, someone would snatch me from you, then I think it was okay for the guy to leave the relationship. The earlier the better. But if the lady was cool having the guy to be with her, then the guy was not fair enough with the lady. Yeah.
No matter how fast or slow I walk, this girl would always be behind me. She would complain I walk too fast. I'll slow down and walk next to her, and by the time I realize, she'll be behind me complaining that I walk too fast. So I told her, "Let's hold hands when we walk. That way, we will always be next to each other." We did it and it was working until one day, she got angry and started accusing me of pulling her along when I walk. She screamed, "Am I your child? Why are you pulling me along as if I don't know my way around?" A few days later, she said she couldn't continue with the relationship because I was always leaving her behind. She felt I was too embarrassed to walk with her. That's why I was always leaving her behind. So, honestly, I felt the boy didn't really do his part, because you can't lose a relationship because you are walking too fast. Some others are cheating and they are being spared and stuff. So walking too fast shouldn't cost your relationship. So I think he could have done better, because if you are an overthinker, you think he is trying to hide you or something. So in his next relationship, he shouldn't lose it because he's walking too fast. That's what I think.
We were in the same church, so I thought marriage between us would be easy. Our parents were also in the same church, and they knew that we were dating. When she wanted to leave me, she started talking ill about the men in the church, calling them heartbreakers and time wasters. I felt I was different, because if I were any of that, she probably wouldn't have said yes to me. One day, she brought accusations right to my doorstep, saying, "You are just like them, and I don't think you will take me anywhere. I better go out there and look for a proper man who will stay with me through thick and thin." That was her telling me it's over, simply because I was a man in a church she also worships. This is actually ridiculous, because in a relationship, it's not a do or die affair. If you think you are fed up with a relationship, it's best you sit with your partner and tell him or her that, yes, I agree to be with you, but from the way things are, I don't think we can continue again. So let's end things, rather than bringing up flimsy excuses that you don't think he's the right person for you because men in the church you worship are all cheaters. In the very first place, you knew that's how they were. So why did you go ahead and still agree to be with the man in the very first place? Out of experience, I've experienced this before in my previous relationship. The excuse as which the guy left was so flimsy, and I understand this lady. Sometimes you are fed up and you don't find the right words or the right way to walk out, so you just try to create something to make your partner feel bad so that you can walk away. I think the man should just move on with his life. He would get someone better out there who would also suit and support him.
We dated for 2 years and we were about to get married. He took me home to meet his parents one day, and everything changed. He stopped picking up my calls and stopped responding to my messages. I didn't know what the issue was, but he wouldn't talk to me about it. One day, I caught up with him and pushed him to tell me what was going on. He told me, "My dad says it's a bad idea to marry a woman who was raised by a single mom, because such women don't know how to keep a home. All their lives, they've lived with a woman, so they won't know how to live with a man." I thought it was a joke, but he said he couldn't go against his father's advice, so we broke up. It's interesting. I mean, I don't see the reason you should break up with your lady because of how she was actually raised up. This is obviously a young man who has no mind of himself. He can't reason for himself. Because if in this day and age, you should be able to stand firm on what you believe in. If he is so much in love with this lady, he would have fought for the lady. One, I think he's a man who cannot reason for himself. Two, he's actually not, or he wasn't so much in love with the lady in question. Three, he can't even be trusted. He's not firm. He's someone who is wobbly. He's like that. He can be controlled anyhow by his family. So I would advise the lady to move on. She shouldn't even worry looking back, because you go in for this guy and she'll go for trouble, because the family will be throwing him up and down. Society will also throw him. He's just as unstable as the wind or as the sea waves. So such a guy, for me, the lady should count it a blessing for this thing coming up at the initial stage. And she should just thank God and move on. It's as simple as that. It's painful though, but this is better. It's better you break a relationship than to lose a marriage. So that's it.